It's just not going to feel too comfy for the Terrorblade early on in the first maybe 2 levels, especially while Metamorphosis is down.
Perhaps level 1 team fight to come. Already wards being placed in that dire triangle, so Tundra want to have a bit of a heads up if anyone's coming to try and claim these bounty runes. They'll see a ball for now. Kind of intrigued as well, like going back to that mid matchup of Nisha versus Thompson, like this. I wonder how much you even care about the point blank scatterblast these days anyway, because like, little Shredder just does so much damage with that added base, with the added attack damage, like the 30%. Like I wonder what's even like what's more concerning. Like, do you care about the scatterblast, or do you more worry about that little Shredder?
Yeah, it feels rough either way. I think for Thompson, playing with Little Shredder might be better. Pulls himself further back, prevents easy lines up for the Searing Chains. Maybe a little bit less as well from double impact. Again, if you're not close, it does impact twice on the closest enemy. So that will save Thompson out. No engagement over these runes. Will be a simple 2 for 2 here to start off. We'll take a look early on that mid. Again, Thompson on the Snapfire, up against Nisha on the Ember Spirit. A very classical matchup that started popping out around 2019 into 20, feels like around that era. And again, we have seen Snapfire pull away. It still feels like it works the same way, even if, as your point raised, even if you don't go for the Scatter Blast, although Thompson will gun for it level 1. And Nisha, again, knows the ins and outs of the Ember, goes for the double impact. He can have presence every time you walk up to try to melee range Scatter Blast, so you do have that benefit for Nisha. I don't think it scares Thompson off fully enough, though.
No, it certainly doesn't. It's just too much damage already coming out from that Snapfire just with the Scatter Blast alone. We should have a look at the side lanes while we have a chance as well. Of course, top lane, you're going to have 9 class and, of course, Ramses against Mickey and Insania. Seems like this could be a pretty interesting lane for the side of Liquid. Like, you've got that classic Razor along with the Insania Disruptor. Pretty scary kind of laning stage for Tundra up at that off lane. So you do have the spearback plays of Ramses if you do get static linked, but with the glimpse back, again, it could be very, very scary to go into this laning matchup.
And it can be. You're not getting too much early activity out from Insania, not at least until he hits level 2. And he does go for Kinetic Fence. We didn't really get that discussion over this. But he gets the Fence, which can be rather interesting. You get the charges, you can block off some areas, you can make it a little bit awkward with just the chain control you can apply. It's going to be interesting because it does make it feel like Static Storm is a lot more situational in how you entrap people in it. So it's not going to be as straightforward as dropping Static Storm into the kinetic field now. Really have to think about it for the fence.
Look at that, Jonathan. Look at the fences. It does nothing. It was nice. I look forward to seeing if Insania can make this this facet actually look good, because I don't think I've seen it ever look good so far. So it'd be interesting if you can make it look actually decent.
Yeah, it just feels like a really bad Fisher, almost, right? Like, it feels like that's the mindset on it. You have 2 charges, doesn't last this long. And again, I think the trade-off with losing that easy Static Storm combination is a very big trade-off. Just becomes a lot easier for you to bail out, even with something like the Ags. We'll see if Insania finds some opportunities. A little bit.
Yeah, bottom lane. And Foxy, a bit of an interesting scenario here. Both creep waves being pulled into the rivers. Seems like 33 is still going to be able to pull his creep wave away, and Pure will do the exact same thing. This has been a pretty decent lane here for Pure. No real contest here for the Terrorblade thus far. I suppose 33 is also having a pretty decent enough time, but he's only got 3 CS in the Beastmaster right now, so maybe not so much. They are pulling the creep wave away to ensure they get a bit more farm going here on 33, but it is off to a little bit of a slower start here in the laning stage of Team Liquid. So I believe, John, are you there? Have we lost you, sir? Looks like we probably have. All right. Well, it's just me once again. Looking back at that mid lane as well, Nisha is starting to suffer quite a bit here on the Ember Spirit. See, still finding CS quite nicely, but the problem is, in terms of harass, he's just copying all of it. There's not much Nisha can do. See, he's trying to abuse the Sleight of Fist, but Thompson, of course, every single time he sees Nisha come close, he will just go ahead and abuse that Scatter Blast into the little shredder. Nisha looking for that water rune to try and give himself a little bit of a reset. But this is why John was mentioning the Ember matchup against the Snapfire probably was not going to pan out too favorably for Nisha. But at the very least for now, he's still keeping on CS parity. It's still pretty even when it comes to that mid lane matchup. No kills happening across the board quite yet. All lanes relatively quiet. The top lane, there is going to be a bit of a glimpse back onto 9 class, and now the fence being dropped. 9 class being held back by Insania. Still not dead yet, but will eventually drop. There's Ramses who try to chase down Mickey and find a bit of a trade for himself on this Mars, but never throws the spear out. Just kind of holds back, saves the mana. And Team Liquid, they will get away with first blood on their Disruptor. In fact, glimpse back now from Insania once again. Ramses, he'll be okay. Insania would not drop another fence down. The fence that time around actually worked out. I suppose in the right kind of circumstance, it is very hard to get away and just try to wrap around that fence if you have to. So first blood the way of Liquid. Happy days for them. Bottom lane still looks like it's going pretty poorly for 33. It's Pure's complete free farm so far in the Terrorblade. I suppose that is to be somewhat expected though. Like, you are up against a support Morphling of all things, so the laning presence can't be that great of this hero. And well, you are seeing 33 now just kind of being bullied out of the lane, as White One and Pure can easily just force him away. And of course, Boxy really can't do too much to help quite yet, apart from pull the creep wave. He's going to try and do so now. The Whitemon will be there to intervene, and he will take a fair bit of damage. There's now mid lane, a big group up around the 6-minute power rune timings. Kisses out, trying to go on to Nisha. They'll miss out on the Ember, but instead they'll fight Insania, who does show up at that last second. And power runes should go the way of Tundra. As Thompson, he'll find an amp damage rune up at the top rune spot. No problems here for Tundra thus far. And for Team Liquid, they are desperately just trying to hold on to this mid-tier 1 tower. It seems like Tundra really want to try and apply that pressure with the siege creep timing. They are getting away with a hell of a lot of damage here thanks to Thompson. Liquid, again, desperately trying to slow this push down. But it already feels like the damage has been done. Like, maybe you stop the push, or maybe not even. Nisha dropping low. Thompson, has he gone too far? He is not. He is able to safely walk out of there as Insania trying to be as annoying as possible with these fences. Here comes Boxy. There goes 9 class going down to the Morphling. Is now Whitemon getting body blocked up. Should also drop, and does. Boxy on the support Morphling, finding a double kill here in the mid lane. And Team Liquid barely managed to save that mid-tier 1 tower. It survives on just about 52 HP. Well, there you go. It still feels as though the mid damage has been done, though. Like, Thompson's found a bit too much farm, I'd argue. That mid-tier 1 tower is still going to drop. There is no saving it. I say that, Insania has rotated once again to try and ensure that mid-tier 1 tower does not go down. And Thompson and Whitemon, they're actually going to smoke up and run towards the top side of the map. Up through the dire jungle they'll go, but Insania in position to break the smoke of Thompson. May have to die for this, but a nice glimpse back onto Thompson to allow Insania a way out. And sadly for Thompson, he did not have Mortimer's Kisses off cooldown, so he couldn't really go for the kill from a mile away. A nice smoke break here from Insania. Thompson, at the very least, does pick up a shield rune from himself, so not all is lost. But props to Liquid. They are still holding on to that mid-tier 1 tower and allowing that kind of TP rotation point for themselves to still exist. So it would have been rather disastrous had that gone down this early. This top lane, a big group up now from Tundra. Mickey, going to be scouted out by Pure. Metamorphosis has been popped, and well, with that, Pure gonna have a very easy time taking down Mickey. They'll get onto that top tier 1 tower now, Tundra. Not much in the way of slowing these boys down. And it won't only be the top tier one. I do believe Tundra should eventually find the mid tier one tower now as well. It's basically only a couple hits away. And that'll allow them to just completely open up the map. Tundra even going through the twin gates down towards the bottom lane, seeing if they can find 33. 33 is actually taking those stacks away in that dire triangle as we speak, so the timing is somewhat perfect. But Tundra, they won't be able to infiltrate that dire triangle. Not quite yet. So 33 still going to be able to get away with pretty much all the farm he would require from these stacks. Mind you, he's still a pretty far way off the Ag Scepter being built up here on the Beastmaster. But considering he is able to take these stacks without any contest, it shouldn't be too much longer. Meanwhile, top lane, Mikke, going to be scouted, but so will Insania. They'll drop the arena onto the Disruptor, and Insania, he will tank the gank for Mikke. So not the worst situation in the world here for the side of Liquid. So they will protect their position 1 Razor, but they'll lose Insania in the process. Suppose as long as this Razor is farming, they'll be more than happy. Same can be said for 33, who is still working on towards that Aghanim Scepter. Because Nisha trying to get that recovery farm going on the Ember Spirit, as well as, well, his mid lane obviously was a pretty atrocious style of lane here for the Ember Spirit. We'll start working on towards that Maelstrom now. Now, Tundra with a bit of a group up in the mid lane. It's like Whitemon will group up with Thompson once again. Pure even going to show up to boot. The Stomp does end up missing here from Whitemon as Nisha copping so much damage. Barely able to get out of there. It's now Thompson in trouble, but he will be safe for now. But he does go down eventually. Insania to want to take him out as they've caught out Boxy at the very least. They do catch the Morphling, but a huge pick-off here for Liquid. So they will trade their support for a core Snapfire. Still Tundra, they do at least get that mid-tier 1 tower. Pure will just move in with the Metamorphosis and take that out. But a pretty successful team fight here for the side of Liquid.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Tundra, I mean, maybe back to the drawing board for a little bit, you know, but Thompson back to the farm game for himself as Whitemon, bottom side, has been caught out by 33. Raw committed immediately, though there's going to be a nice arena now from Ramses into the kisses of Thompson. 33 is getting annihilated here on the Beastmaster, though he's still trying to fight this one out, almost taking down Ramses. Eventually they will. Thompson in the meantime, he moves in for a double, though he needs a way out now because Mikke has rotated with the static link on the Razor. And Thompson, no way out I don't think. He'll try to fight back, but there's no fighting. They've got him this time around once again. It looked pretty damn good to start, but that was 3 on Tundra going down for the price of 2 for Liquid. So another nice exchange for this dire side, and that's the second time in the last couple of minutes you've seen this mid-snap fire die, which is certainly pretty bad news because now he's on parity with Nisha's farm. So that advantage you had in the mid lane, it almost feels like it's just gone completely. So you do at least still have the XP advantage, but that's about it. Now bottom lane. Like, never mind that, because 9 class goes down top lane. Nisha able to secure a kill on his own. Bottom lane, they are going to get started on the tier 1 tower push, but they have spotted out Whitemon. Insania able to glimpse him back, and Whitemon set to fall. There's no way out as Boxy with the morph gets into the Elder Titan form. We'll take care of it. 33 should be able to make quite short work of this this bottom tier 1 tower. Now also has the Ags up on the Beastmaster. And so it seems like Team Liquid have hit a decent timing, all things being said and done. Even with that poor landing stage here for 33, he still manages a decent timing for this Ags up, and they are rushing right towards the Roshan pit. Though Tundra, they seem to be well aware that Roshan is indeed happening. Scan is out. That will give enough information over. Team Liquid thinking they're getting away with this, but Tundra, they are slowly but surely making their move over. And there should be a pretty easy team fight as Boxy getting stunned by Roshan as the kisses fly in. 33 in trouble. Roshan is gone. Aegis right in front of the Beastmaster, but the arena will not allow him to pick up the Aegis. Oh, what a tease. What a tease. 33. All he could do was stare at the Aegis. So close yet so far. And Thompson, he'll snatch the Aegis away. Well, of course he does. 8-9 now. There is still a 2k net worth advantage for the side of Liquid, but with that Roshan being lost, it is probably going to be a bit of a down period for Liquid once again. Seems like now Tundra will be the ones to try being aggressive. The Liquid still grouping up down to that bottom lane. Boxy and 33 both going to rotate toward that tier 1 tower, but there is a lot of heroes here from Tundra. Boxy under vision now, narrowly avoids the dead shot of 9 class. They're looking at 33, they want the bigger target. Boxy gonna scout out for his Beastmaster though, and in fact Boxy is out of there. He successfully waveforms away, and now Thompson in the middle of nowhere, getting caught out by 33, and Thompson, he'll try to walk his way out, but he loses the Aegis. That's 1 life gone. And he's in the middle of nowhere right now, Thompson. He's forced to fight back, but the static league is out right onto the Snapfire. And it seems though he will be set to fall. As 9 class also follows, and now Ramses, he'll be glimpsed back by Insania. Nisha will find a double on the Ember. And Team Liquid finding a 3-for-0 trade. And that was off the back of the initiation from Tundra. It was underneath their own vision. But Liquid still managed to make the fight work completely blind. And that is a very concerning sign if you are Tundra. Just kind of dropping like flies here on this bottom side of the map. As now Liquid suddenly with a 5k net worth advantage. Not looking to slow down too much soon. And I mean, it seems like Tundra, all the net worth now is just on Pure. Everybody else is pretty far behind when it comes to the net worth department. So a lot of pressure on Pure to kind of carry this game for his team now, as well, Liquid have found themselves in a pretty solid lead for this game 1. Of course, they will get back to the drawing board and get back to the farming game for now. Team Liquid very confident in their late game ability to carry themselves through this game 1. It's like Thompson has managed to farm himself up a Maelstrom, now going into the Gleipnir, of course. Nisha looking to do the exact same thing with his own Gleipnir. Pure will reveal himself up at that top lane with the reflection onto the Ember. Even 9 class showing up now on the Muerta, but it amounts to nothing. You know, unable to catch Nisha out. This Tundra is still looking to be the team that applies pressure. Gripping up in the mid-tier 2. I mean, they do have Metamorphosis ready. As they do go for a roar out. They have caught themselves Ramsey, so 33 able to find a very quick pickoff, but it may cost him his own life, and it does. Tundra trying to move forward. They'll get Insania first. Insania already down. Liquid looking to retreat. Though Pure has dropped quite a bit of HP now, so Nisha looking to try and chip away at the Terrorblade, but Pure successfully able to get out of there, and of course he still holds on to the Sunder. Still going to be a 1-for-2 trade in the favor of Tundra, it seems like, as Team Liquid. A quick kill from 33, but he did melt pretty much soon after to Thompson. Instead, it seems like Liquid, they'll split up again. Back to the farm game for themselves. Though there is a completed Gleipnir up on Nisha now, so you might want to start to move as a unit. Gonna blink up onto 33. Even Boxy's got the Guardian Greaves available on the Morphling. He just needs the courier to bring it out. Though it does seem like they are waiting for Mickey to have his full BKB completed before they get going. On the other side of things, Pure is now working towards the Skadi of the Terrorblade. Though it won't have quite as much impact as it would have had it been a carry morphling, of course.
Dire are scanning.
But you still want the Skadi up. It's still a pretty important core item here for the TB. It's Thompson, top lane, gets caught by 33, and with the drums of Slom out, Thompson just melts. It is really that simple. With the drums up, you can pretty much kill anyone by yourself if you are 33 at the moment. Meanwhile, Pure
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
does avoid the chains of Nisha, so he's going to be able to get away. However, I can't say the same for 9 class, who does go into the Pierce the Veil to try and avoid the damage output that was incoming. They'll catch Boxy on the morph. Their Boxy surviving, just barely gets into the strength morphing stage and does survive as 9 class getting held back by the defensive Insania. Does go down. Another easy pick off for Liquid. It's kind of the cool thing about this support morphling. Like, not only are its cooldowns extremely low, but it's obviously pretty hard to kill on top of that. Even that initiation, just the strength morphing in time allows him to just casually walk away from that situation. There's just nothing they could do about it. It's really very unfortunate for Tundra. The net worth graph is kind of getting worse and worse in their favor. Pure still top of the net worth board, but he is the only one really having a decent time on Tundra's end of things. Everyone else struggling quite a lot, as of course Ramses and Thompson both falling quite far behind when it comes to the net worth. So Mike's about to have his BKB up soon too on the Razor. It'll be a very, very nice spike because there's not much in the way of dealing with that in the middle of a fight. Especially if he does manage to get the static link off onto Pure's top side. 33. Once again, can take himself a very easy pick off here with the Rorags.
Bottom tower is under attack.
And there's just no contest for it. He just casually walks out of there now. Nothing to be done. Just classic Beastmaster shenanigans. BKB now up on 33 to boot. So he's going to be feeling even safer to just jump in and initiate for his team every time. And Tundra, they are slowly starting to look a little bit lost here in this game one. Now a 9k advantage for the side of Team Liquid. Group up down at bottom lane. Thompson's going to be spotted here by Insania. Thompson, he'll try to go onto the Morphling, but they will drop the Static Storm onto the snap by his head to ensure there's no follow-up here from Thompson. BKB now completed on our Razor.
Are scanning.
Smoke is out though. Ramsey's getting a nice arena spear out right onto Mickey though. He gets the BKB in time, but the Earth Splitter, it did land Mickey. He's very low, but he'll get the static link off Ramses. Ramsey's the one in trouble. Ramses is down. Meanwhile, Aurora out. They caught Pure with that. The TB is gone. 33 will take him out as now Thompson. Thompson up drop as well. A full team wipe. Team Liquid, my goodness. And Mickey not even dying, and 33 just casually ripping them a new one. The Raw just right in the middle of all of them,
Middle tower.
with the drums of Slom just constantly beating. We'll have a look at the replay of that. Mickey barely survives, but the big initiation from 33 on a Pure, and it's just too much damage. Even if 33 drops there, you just wouldn't care whatsoever, but he manages to barely survive on top, just rubbing salt into the wound of Tundra.
Is under attack.
And this game, it is getting more and more challenging as time goes on. Now a 16k net worth advantage here for Team Liquid.
Under attack.
And for Tundra, I mean, again, it feels like all the eggs are currently in the Pure basket. But even he's fallen quite far behind now, sitting at 4th in the net worth department. Not having the game he would have hoped for in this carry TB. No, I just don't see this time getting any easier. Again, against this Beastmaster, it's just so hard to avoid that initial raw initiation. And you just saw how fast Pure dies to it once you do land that initial stun. Well, Team Liquid, they'll group up down at bottom lane. Tundra looking at Nisha top lane, but Nisha will be fine to walk away. In fact, he does move back in for the creep wave, but it seems like Nisha's very confident that they just can't actually kill him right now. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, Roshan has officially begun. Team Liquid, they will be the ones beginning that Roshan. Roshan will roar to give away the that this is actually happening. But Tundra, they're not in position to try and contest this. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Ramses has actually been caught out here by Mickey. The static link just making it so hard for him to get away with the shards out. BKB popped here from Mickey eventually, but he's dropping so darn low, but he still gets out. Mickey barely alive. Nisha rushing in for more. 9 class probably set to fall and does go down. Meanwhile, Roshan was still happening while all that was going on. So Liquid not only wins a team fight, but they were taking Roshan while that fight was happening. It was basically a 3v whatever. Tundra, they are falling apart here. You are seeing Pure desperately trying to get that farm while he still can, but you start to question how much all of it's going to matter. He is now working towards the BKB on the Terrorblade, and that might be the big difference maker, but it's just going to take such a long time to farm that up at this stage of the game. Also, that last team fight, like that shards on Mickey made it really annoying for poor old Ramses to try and get out of his own arena. He could just not escape. It's constantly being dragged back by our Razor. There's 33 now mid lane. Looking to move in, just jumps in right out with the roar out onto the Snapfire, already finding Thompson. Thompson alive for now as 33 looking for another. Will go back onto the Snapfire. Meanwhile, Boxy in trouble. Boxy does get taken down, but 33 just BKBs and TPs out. So Tundra, this time around, will get away with a Morphling kill as Team Liquid going a little bit too far. We'll hand over a bit of a freebie, but it is still just to support Morphling. Like, this is not a core morph by any stretch. So not really the biggest deal at all here for Team Liquid either. Hello, Jonathan. I've been advised that you're back. Never mind, Jonathan. Apparently they can't hear you, so I'm just going to keep talking until you... Oh, apparently now you can hear you.
Yeah, so I missed a lot, Mike. This is a game I was very excited to watch. Unscheduled power outage, who cares about that? The side of Liquid, again, looking in pretty strong form. How do you feel about this Morphling support, Mikey? You know, I missed out. This is the one thing I want to see.
It actually looks kind of nice. I mean, I'm not going to lie. It actually works. Like, he just rushed Guardian Greaves, but he's been very hard to kill in the middle of these fights, John. And he's very annoying.
And he is. I'm glad to see it's working out. Again, this is something that Tundra has done. They are chasing.
And they got Thompson again. Ouch. It's basically been the 33 show after that laning stage, John. Like 33 had a really, really poor laning stage, but as soon as the drums of Slom were up, he took off. It just hasn't stopped ever since then.
And that's what we tend to see from these Beastmasters. 33 already having the full Shivas up as well. So much output. And again, this is the one thing. The Terrorblade doesn't have the greatest time up top. Mickey, though?
Now Mickey in trouble, but he's actually going to fight back. Ramsey's the one to go down. Meanwhile, mid lane 9 class not out of it either. Is going to go down. Top lane once again. Pure now getting caught out on the TB. Pure going to be saved by the Glimmer Cape, but 33 still chasing for more. He'll find Whitemon. At least they do get Pure out of there. But this game has become so one-sided. Like, the Team Liquid, it was a pretty awkward laning stage, but right after that laning stage, they really just started to take over.
Yeah, it goes back to a few points, right? Like, sure, the Ember Spirit matchup against the Snapfire is not the best, but down the line, you don't really have the control for it on the side of Tundra. You don't have hard hold. The Gleipnir can save, but you already have, again, that BKB from Nisha coming in clutch. Does make it just so unfeasible for them to try to pin down, get some easy pickoffs. They have to rely on this initiation out from Ramses, smoke out from Liquid, see if they get the flank around. All of these sustained fights as well just heavily favors the Razor. You just static link up this Terrorblade. Pure doesn't have any counteraction to that. Nothing like Lincoln's on hand. No one having any sort of save from that combination. And it's just a challenge right now for Tundra. There is scaling, but... Oh.
They caught top lane. There is an Aegis down. They found 33 with the first life, but can you get him the second time around? They'll land the dead shot. They'll get a silence out. 33 dropping low, gets the roar out in time. Pure in danger. Can he get the Sunder off? It seems like he cannot. He could not find a target. He got the Manta in time, but that's about it, as Thompson's going to drop to boot. It's a full team wipe. Team Liquid. They got 33, but what does it matter?
Yeah, it takes him way too long. He couldn't bail out Pure. He couldn't get the Sunder off. He can't sustain through that fight. Mika comes in on the flank, gets a good static link, has the Satanic, doesn't have anything to fear. And they expend everything just to take care of 33. High ground fully opened up for the side of Liquid. And the side of Tundra, without that you will just have to surrender these racks. The side of Liquid not going to force the issue that much further. Probably just wants the reset out once 33 is back up. But Tundra, again, there's so much pressure on Ramses to try to nail this Arena Spear. We saw him try, but the BKB flies on Mika, and there's just no easy way to get setup stuns. It has to be on-point movement from Ramses, and it's such a hard ask considering how far behind you are in this game.
It's a very, very challenging time now for Tundra. I mean, they're not out of the game one yet, but they're 24k behind, and it really has been a story of this Beastmaster. It's the reason why you can't give this hero away. Like, it needs to be banned. It's too much, this damn Beastmaster at the moment. Here we go again. Yeah. Group up down at the bottom lane. Not going to amount to much yet.
Love this build-up on Boxy as well. He has enough space to get himself a full Octarine. All of those lowered cooldowns you have from your Facet, plus the Octarine on top. So much more uptime and being disruptive on this morph. And, you know, just stat padding. More HP to play with. Can front line quite nicely. Tundra. And they've got that Scotty timing on Pure. It's just... It's such a big issue with Mika. Again, he just gets the static link off. You can't do anything about it. You have the spear, only the spear to really save you. Maybe a cookie out, but doesn't drag you far away enough. I guess there's a secondary spike here for Tundra if they manage to ride into, say, level 20 into 25 for Thompson, where Lil Shredder will just rip heroes apart. But that's a long ways off. Thompson is trying to gun for that point, with the Daedalus being queued up. Tundra will try to smoke out here. Don't quite have the forward vision to spot Liquid fully out. If they somehow get this initiation from Ramses, find a big kill, and probably take care of Mika first. That does feel like the pertinent target in these prolonged fights. They can find a way back in.
Liquid have read this movement. They know exactly where they are, and the chains are already out, catching a couple into the Static Storm. 9 class looking to die. 33, who would he catch? Thompson, already so darn low. Thompson being chased by Nisha, he's gone. Whitemont to follow. Meanwhile, towards the south, Pure's been caught by a roar. There is no chance of survival here, though he will at least sunder. He'll try to fight back, but there's just nothing. There is nothing to be done. 4 down for Tundra. Only Ramses to survive, and 33 is having a look for him on top. He wants the final piece. Look at this, 33. Give the man a break. Spear will not land. Glimpse is out though. He'll give the vision. It's all about sending a message. My boy has the message has been sent.
That it is. Liquid bouncing back quite strong. looking to be in strong form here in their second series of the day after not really finding much more than draws. Side of Tundra, they had some good draft ideas, just allowing the Beastmaster through, getting baited perhaps just a little bit by this Morphling. Not having the solutions on hand. Razor Pick from Liquid just cleaning up, providing everything they could ask for, clearing out these mid-set of racks now on the side of Liquid. Tundra, they've got the kisses ready. They will have Arena one more time on the respawn. Metamorphosis a little bit further off there for Pure. Again, Liquid will just play it safe. 13 to 37. Very elite of Liquid right now. A 30k lead at 34 minutes in. They have a very secure position. Not much to really worry about. Roshan is ready to be taken as well as they spot the amplified damage rune on Nisha. Nisha himself going for the Ags now on the Ember, just to be even harder to pin down. Not that it gets any easier here for the side of Tundra. You are getting additional control out as well for 33. Into the side of Vice, not too far off. Just so many tools you have to be concerned about on Tundra. I do like that Ramses is trying to farm up for his own side of Vice. Get that Blink Hex up into the Spear Arena to get that isolation. Nat could start to change it up, but again, it's just hard. See that opening. Liquid have just been very on point so far. Full butterfly out now for Mike as well. So even right clicks coming in here from Pure. Not going to be consistent whatsoever from the Terrorblade. And Liquid, again, smooth sailing so far. Probably just maybe gone for one more Roshan. Go on to the high ground. One last set of racks. Tundra, they're the ones that need to try to make something happen somehow.
Oh, Roshan's going to get started. I mean, this could be the opening for Tundra. If there's any place to try and fight, it probably would be the Roshan pit. Problem is, do you even know it's happening? And if you do you feel confident enough to make the move in? The answers are probably no, by the looks of it, as Roshan will roar to give them the info they require. But there is no sort of movement out from Tundra. They are just going to use the time to push out some lanes, try to get some farm going, get some wards down, of course, while they can. You do have some pretty insane late game scaling here from Thompson, of course, if you can get to that level 25, but that's a long way away. Like, he's almost at level 20. But it's still like, that 25 is where the big difference will be made.
That it is. Plus 70%. And that's, 100% attack damage as it used to be on the 25. With the Daedalus that will be there at that timing is going to be big. It's just way too slow. Try to catch one out. 9 class.
They surely will. Like, oh, it's a nice scraping out from Nisha. Locking down a couple. Pure was caught as well. The link out already from Mike, though Pure will be able to get away. Kisses have been committed here from Thompson. Thompson actually still not level 20 either. So a bit of an unfortunate circumstance here for Thompson, because he would have loved that level 20 talent here to help out with this next fight. It still would have been a lot of damage with that little shredder, even without the level 25 talent, but nonetheless, he does not have the time to get that level 20 going. Mike, he'll make short work of this tier 3 bottom tower. Meanwhile, Tundra's still looking for a way to initiate this fight. It's 33 you want to catch, but 33 is a very hard target to get. They do jump in. Arena is down. They've caught the Beastmaster with the spear up, but there's no follow-up to it. 33 is perfectly fine to pop his BKB and just keep going as the roar is out. Pure got caught with that one. Pure is down. No buyback available, and GG is called. They've seen enough. You saw Ramses. He tries for the jump in onto 33. He understood which target they needed to prioritize, but ultimately, if there's no follow-up, it just won't matter.
No, certainly doesn't. The side of Liquid, again, playing strong after what you tell me is a very...
Well, there you go. I mean, it's saying Rubik makes enough sense. Ramses Enigma, I can't say I've seen much of, John.
No. It's really not. I'm sure he's had a lot of Enigma games now, switching on to that offlane for a while. He's had his run. He can do fine. Do not know. No questioning here.
That's okay. Team Liquid, they're waiting on the top side of the bounty rune of that the mid lane. The 9 class looking to see if he can steal the northern bounty rune. The bottom bounty rune is probably just going to go pretty much the way of Tundra. Not really much in the way of stopping them from taking these. See if Ramses wants to contest her up against Mike, but it's highly doubtful, and of course he does back.
The battle begins.
So it should be a 2 for 2. Nice even start between both sides. And of course, as per usual, we start with the mid lane, John, where you do see Nisha against Thompson on the Zeus versus the SF. What do you think of this matchup? How does this one go?
It is still Zeus favored, Livewire or not. I think it's actually a little bit more consistent without Livewire, because with Livewire, at minimum, you're doing 2% damage with static field. Without Livewire, you do 2.5 flat every single time. So it's just very consistent application for Thompson. Should be holding out steady up against Nisha. And it's very man-intensive for Nisha to get aggressive in this lane. It can be for Thompson as well, but he's got some safety nets. It's much cheaper to spam out Arc Lightning. And Nisha, though, getting a couple of good denies to set up for himself, but does cop maybe some extra tower hits you wouldn't want to. Rune control is a pretty big factor in this matchup. I'm keen on seeing how much you can afford to rotate on the side of Liquid with your support more in the early levels.
Nisha's might be dead, and he is, I think. Thompson. Oh, he's almost got him, but not quite. Nisha. Yeah, he's alright. That all went back to that range creep that got denied by Thompson, by the way. Nisha stacked the double Shadow Rays to try and burst down the range creep first and get the level 2 timing first, but Thompson ended up denying it, and well, now Nisha is paying for it quite heavily as Thompson just not leaving him alone. Nisha, is he just dead? It looks like he is the Thompson. He gets aggro, but he gets the kill first. And that's why your initial range creeps are very important. That is off the back of one deny from Thompson.
And the faster timing, so it has a lot more play now with level 2 Arc Lightning on top. Still have some chances to look at the other lanes up top. We have been sneaking some peeks onto Ramses on the Enigma with 9 class on that Marcy, up against Mike on the Weaver, and Insania on that Rubik. And this top lane, it's fairly static. There is some aggression.
Never mind, Thompson's not leaving Nisha alone. Just look at the damage output he's already dealt here to the SF. Every time Heavenly Jump Spin off cooldown, he just continues to get so aggressive here against Nisha. And, well, Nisha just can't really do much about it apart from hope for the best. Get back towards that T1 tower.
Yeah. Just try to survive. I mean, he doesn't have his bottle in yet either, so he can't afford to deny that one water rune. Thompson still manages to grab the other one. And that is one way to play into the SF. Again, we've seen this matchup multiple times. Zeus does come out on top. And considering that you don't have Livewire, it is consistently 2.5 no matter what range you're at. You just kind of gap close to prevent the raises from stacking up, making it awkward for Nisha to look for that counterplay. Already a very nice start for Thompson overall. I mean, you have some recovery angles for Nisha. His camps aren't blocked. He could try to stack up, flash farm later on. But still, Thompson, especially as he reaches level 6 with the Divine Rampage, there's a lot of potential there with some cheeky spell amp on the Thunder God's Wrath.
You can't underestimate that 15%. It can really start to hurt. Side lanes, so far, pretty even affairs on both sides of things. So like Rams is having a very good time at that top lane. 17-3 on the CS board as the Enigma. Is to be expected though. Enigma obviously just very good at dominating lanes when it comes to the CS department. And Mike not too far behind. In fact, he's 19 CS and 2 denies himself on the Weaver, so not really falling behind at all. And that bottom lane, a bit slower for Pure, I'd argue, on the DK. Currently 14 and 10. In fact, they're going to make the jump in on the Dragon Knight. Just a little bit of a casual Cinder Brew throw out from 33. But it seems like Pure, for now, is okay. But he is currently being chased by Boxy in 33. It's a huge creep wave, so they can dive the tier 1 tower. Problem is, Pure is just too tanky to take down, but they are going to try and just annoy the living crap out of Pure. In comes more as Mike now rotating with the swarm out, and Pure is not going to die. He barely survives on just about 20 HP, but Mike will chase him down. They've got the vision. Pure should not be able to make it out of this one. And he's gone. Pure is down, so is Whiteball.
Dire's top tower
Takes a lot of effort. That's maybe a little bit more time than Mika would want to spend down here. He does make it worthwhile. It was a bit of a slower lane for 33 overall in terms of finding that CS, trying to shove away Pure. It's a DK matchup. It's just hard to try to get that harassment off. And top is a pretty slow lane. So I like that read from Mika to get some aggression elsewhere. Although Nisha,
And Isha, mid lane, just could not deal with Thompson. And with the rotations from the supports of Tundra, they make very, very short work of Nisha. So a very important pickup here for the side of Tundra. And I suppose this is once again the one lane that is kind of struggling here for Liquid is the mid lane. This happened in game 1 as well. Both the side lanes were going decently, but the mid lane was the one where things were falling a little bit behind, and it was purely based off the hero matchups. And it seems like we've got a bit of a similar story where Nisha's got a disadvantageous matchup for himself here against the Zeus, and he's paying for it.
that he is. Not much you can really do at this point now for Nisha. Already digging into that jungle. Forward ward set up by Tundra to constantly punish if Nisha walks back into lane, which he might shortly. They are set up. They've got the regen rune on hand as well for Thompson, and he does have that level 6.
See what he finds. They are starting to fight already. Insania has been caught here on the Rubik, so Insania will very easily go down as Thompson. Sure what that the lightning bolt was about, but doesn't really matter too much. As now Nisha going to be spotted here by Thompson. 9 class has rebound in 2 seconds. Nisha, he needs some help ASAP, and it's not coming. Nisha is just going to fall. No TPs out from Team Liquid.
No, I mean, what do you expect your Morphling support to really do at this point? It doesn't feel like it can really stop that, so they just have to sap that lane of Nisha. And Thompson being very cheeky, maximizing does get the
Okay.
Thunder God's Wrath, not enough.
A close kind of call here for Mike is survives him at 250 HP. That mid tier 1 tower in the meantime, John Thompson's just taking it out with the siege creep. 7 minutes in, the mid tier 1 tower is now
Dire's
gone.
middle tower has fallen.
Though again, we did see this in game 1 as well, in fairness to Team Liquid. And they weren't really too bothered by it in game 1 either.
I think it's a different story when you've got the SF. This here, it just feels very tempo-based, especially on mid, especially if you're going for the caster build, right? You want your Kaya, you want your Blink, Ewel's, BKB, Ags build up. All of that's going to be heavily stalled out now.
Dire's top tower
Niche
They're
is
trying
a bit
on to
upset, John.
Pure.
It's queued up quite a few observer wards in the
Yeah,
quick
he's
queue as
had that for
Pure
a while.
scanning.
bottom lane. I mean, Pure's still alive. Whitemon's going to move in for a cookie and does give Pure a bit more of a gap. Insania trying to get within range to land that blood grenade and does actually connect. Pure slowed up just enough, perhaps, the 33 missing the Cinder Brew, and Pure will immediately tip out the Brewmaster. 33 will be able to successfully retreat, but so will Pure. Yeah, going back to Nisha, John, he does unqueue those observer wards, so it looks like he's calm.
Yeah, I mean, tier 1 tower is gone. He should have a little bit more relief now. At least he's just going to hug his jungle. There are still really aggressive wards here from the side of Tundra. They might not rest, but they are looking to maybe go up top instead. Ramses?
He's got Black Hole available, but he won't want to pop it like this. Not by himself, and he is just going to fall. There was just no help around him for him to even think about popping that Black Hole. So Liquid, they'll claim themselves a pretty easy pick off here onto Ramses. But they are still just playing a very slow game. Still plenty of time required as Nisha again. Being targeted by 9 class, but he has no rebound target. There's no way to close the gap unless Nisha comes back into the triangle, but he does decide not to.
Is under attack.
They'll at least find a D ward for their trouble.
At some space, they can't fully contest these stacks either. So you still have that flash farm opportunity for Nisha, but they are aware now on the side of Tundra. So they could look to clean up perhaps with some movement forward. Pure will actually start to make his way there. And should start in the Ancients. So, all of that flash farm gone.
Radiant's bottom
Pure
tower
understands the
is under
assignment. Just really needs to hurt that mid as much as possible. It is giving some room now for 2-3 to just play down bot. Has his urn. Has his level 6, so the split is ready. They've got some responses ready on Liquid if things do start to get hot around the map. Again, game state is in a pretty strong spot for Tundra. Thompson running away with the net worth lead right now. Already has his phylactery up with the Arcane Boots and Null. Going straight for the Ags. So he wants that presence. He wants to be able to just burst down some heroes across the map. Has a lot of output to play with already. Side of Liquid. I mean, it's really Nisha that's hurting the most. Again, this Blink Yules, Yashikaya Ags timing is going to be extremely delayed on the SF. And when SF misses tempo, it doesn't feel good to play that hero from behind. It lines into faster BKB timings from the course if you try to burst down. So your magical burst just kind of disappears. Your HP starts to scale up as well. Your output just doesn't feel great. And just needs so much time. You're going to have to eat some space away from your Weaver. They're rotating bot now.
Yeah, they are. They're going to try for 33. 33 already losing most of his HP. Now the rebound out from 9 class. Landing perfectly onto the Brewmaster. 33 getting annihilated here by 9 class and Thompson. There's no rebuttal to it either. Like Liquid, they're just not in a position yet where they can really hope to fight back against what Tundra is offering. Especially every single time Thompson is around to help his team out. It's just too much damage output at the moment. So Liquid, they'll continue playing the slower game, just trying to get their initial net worth up. It's really only Mickey that's having a decent time here in the Weaver. Everyone else having a pretty bad time when it comes to the farm department of Liquid. We'll see if Tundra can keep up this momentum. Because again, they kind of had a similar story going for game 1.
I think this draft is a lot more forgiving from Tundra. They don't have too much to worry about in terms of annoying play comebacks from Nisha until this Blink Yules or Blink Yashikaya is up. Even then, you're probably looking for either a BKB on top of that or just a full Ags for Nisha, which, again, is just several miles off here in terms of just waiting for that farm. 33 still and slowly inching towards the full Spirit Vessel. He's going to try to play off the back of that, but a little bit of a chase on to Insania.
Yeah, 9 class. Let me spot it. Swarm is out from Mickey, but 9 class able to rebound out just fine. Tundra, they are starting to group up top though. Thompson getting caught, tries to get to the higher ground, but he's been caught out. Thompson's down. Oh, he tried to get on top of the cliff with the heavenly jump, but he was just a little bit short. They had the TP cancel, and that's a lot of gold to Boxy. I mean, at the very least, at least you only give the Morphling all that gold, but that's still going to allow him to get that pipe up a little bit sooner.
Yeah, and the pipe will destroy that presence of Thompson. It's going to have to start relying on pretty much the output of Pure, heck, even some of the output out from Whitemon with the Shredder, and 9 class if you can get up on the Unleash. This pipe is going to be a good way of slowing down this game that Tundra is trying to play. Liquid, and they're not too far behind. The lane phase, pretty awful, but 2k behind considering all these kills. Not the worst circumstance, although.
Black Hole committed, they've got 33 and they are not messing around. Ramses does not want to risk the Brewmaster Primal Split coming out. They will just lock down 33. And this is kind of the name of the game, it seems like, for Tundra. Is just ensure that this 33 man does not have a good time. Because when he does, he tends to pop off every single time.
And he does, but again, a slower ramp up here for the Brewmaster. Still waiting for that full Spirit Vessel. Wondering if a Radiance is even something he can still consider with how slow his own game is going. They are slowly getting that siege done on bot. There is enough time for the TPs to come in, but the tower should just be set to fall. They will find it. Ramses gets himself a freebie. A lot of room out for Pure to keep farming up. He does have his Midas into the full Armlet and Blink. So wanting to maybe play a little bit more tempo once that initial farm is done. And 9 class, he's getting a lot of leeway into this BKB. Is spotted out by the Eidolons. He could try.
Might give it a crack. 9 class still being chased down here by 33. Nice rebound away thanks to Ramses being around. They'll get the tier 1 bottom tower. 9 class still not out of the woods yet. Mickey not giving up though. A nice TP attempt from 9 class is going to work out. Very, very close call. Mickey not realizing how close he was to securing that kill, but ultimately will not be able to find it. Tundra, they will continue to hold on to this 3k net worth advantage. And even a scan out on Mickey now. As he comes through the twin gates, they'll scan out 2 of them. But Tundra, assuming it's all 5, they do just get out of it. They do not want to fight.
They don't want to start bleeding that fort back onto Tundra, onto Liquid here. As, again, they've gotten a lot of room back up for Nisha. All things considered, after, again, that sort of start, only being 900 gold behind, maybe 1.7 gold behind Thompson is actually not that bad. He's got some stacks going for himself. He already has his Blink going into that Kaya Yasha. And his timings are still being met. We're not seeing fast BKB rushes on the side of Tundra. So his presence is still going to be felt on Nisha once that combination is ready to go. We'll have to be cautious. They will go for the smoke play out on Tundra though. Again, no black hole, but even just a Blink Malefice can set up nicely here. The issue is finding a target. No forward vision for Tundra outside of the triangle area. They do at least see Insania playing the lane, but that's not the target you want to gun for here.
Oh, mid lane, they want 33. They've got Black Hole in 15, but they won't need it. If 33 gets caught out like this, he is just so quickly taken down. Have we even seen a primal split from 33 this game? It feels like every single fight, they just blow him up. Not even a fight. Top lane, Mickey, Insania, they might want to back out of here because Pure is chasing them down. They'll find Insania, but they won't quite be able to catch up in Mickey, so the Weaver will be fine. Insania will not, however. Insania is dead.
Not the biggest kill you'd want off the back of that, but a little bit of a bonus after that movement onto 33.
Nisha?
Just no splits. Nisha.
They've got Black Hole up, but they don't have Blink off cooldown for Ramses. So he couldn't quite close the gap to go for the immediate Black Hole, and it seems like Nisha will be able to survive this.
Yeah, it's so important for Nisha not to bleed out gold now. Again, he's recovered nicely. He's only about 400 behind Ramses, not that far behind Thompson, just about 1,000. He has managed to work his way back into a game. Already has the Kaya, just needs a Yasha, and then you can start to think about the Blink Requiem plays. Again, no fast BKBs just yet on the side of Tundra. Armlet out for Pure with that Blink. Is going for the BKB now. But no protection until that's up.
John, so I'll take over once again. It seems like for now at Tundra, they'll hold on to a 2k advantage, but it's still a very close game between these two teams. Team Liquid, of course, they have been on kind of on the back burner for quite a while now, but they're getting there. Mickey's got the Gleipnir completed up now on the Weaver. They really aren't too far behind. So one good team fight, and Liquid will suddenly take over this game. And there's your 4-man smoke up. They want to go for that fight right here and now. It's very important for 33 to be able to get that primal split off before the fight even begins. And here we go, they'll start. They have found Pure on the Dragon Knight. Nineclass though with a very nice rebound, going to buy him a little bit of time. Pure still going to drop though as Nineclass. He does at least take down Insania, but it's a great trade so far for Team Liquid. It's 33, almost dropping with the Brewlings. In fact, he does drop. They'll find all of them. Black Hole in the meantime, Ramses, he'll find Nisha. The solo pick off here for Ramses. Oh my, I mean, Liquid, they really wanted a good team fight to go their way, but it's going to be a 3-for-1 trade in the favor of Tundra once again. At least you do kill off Pure, but what does it matter if you lose 3?
Yeah, it's a rough go for the side of Liquid. Again, they find a decent enough target in Pure, but the spread out nature of that fight just gives a lot of opportunities for Tundra. Can't underestimate just how much output Nineclass has in terms of turning it around. And he does have that Unleash. And just catching Nisha off guard. And this is the hero you don't want to be bleeding out on whatsoever. Does lose a little bit of that
33.
tempo. Oh!
Yeah, he's been caught out again, though he does have his teammates around him, but he has no primal split to commit here, so 33 just has to get out, but there's no getting out of that one. He will die. No, Thompson being chased by Mickey. In danger. The Thompson turning around. Mickey, he'll barely survive. The time lapse is there. Nisha with the Requiem buying him a bit of time. Now the side of Tundra. They need to get out of there. It seems like Boxy, he'll move in and take down Nineclass. Meanwhile, Whitemon will die to Mickey. This Pure will barely get his way out of the Dragon Knight. Surviving on roughly 100 HP. But that might have been the fight Liquid have been waiting for. It's only a 1k advantage now the way of the Radiant, and it feels like Tundra, they suddenly feel a lot weaker.
That they do, and that's them taking these fights without the big tools they need to really find success, right? Like Black Hole was expended earlier. They know they have an opening on Liquid.
Radiant are
Pure,
scanning.
again, still without the BKB to protect. A lot of that damage output from Liquid still very relevant here. Nisha finally finding an angle for a good Requiem out. Does manage to get that damage going for the side of Liquid. And Tundra have to be a little bit cautious. Again, without Black Hole, your AoE control is kind of stymied. You're kind of relying really on the cookie and the rebound, not the most reliable in the world. Get that jump in. Again, you've reached critical mass now in Nisha. Yashakaya up. Net worth now for our SF is basically at parity. Again, just 1,000 gold behind. Considering how rough that laning start was, it's really not much at this point. This 1k lead of Thunder, negligible. And Liquid, they're slowly forming up the tools. Boxy, full pipe, not too far off, is flying out in the courier. That'll eat into a ton of the damage that Thompson's been doing. Takes away that burst potential.
Pure, he's being watched right now here, Johnny. There's an amp damage rune available on Nisha. If they are able to find a way to make a play, but it seems like they will not. Boxy's trying to sneak by to get a wisdom rune at the 21-minute mark. He might actually get away with it too.
Dire are scanning.
And he does, and Pure eventually might find him, and does with the Dragon Tail, but Boxy does have the waveform towards the north, although he gets stuck in the tree line, sadly, so Boxy, oh, he's gonna die. But he gets the Wisdom Rune, so he'll be more than okay with it.
Yep.
Meanwhile, top side, 9 class will go down. So trade happening here with these supports.
A much more meaningful trade for Liquid, I think, considering Nisha again can kill for himself, does manage to get the usage of the Yashakaya, a decent enough reveal, not the biggest target. Just gets instant activity out of that. Accelerates this BKB timing as well for Nisha to feel more comfy in jumping in for his team. Side of Tundra is starting to feel like they're losing some steam. Pure with his BKB still about 800 gold off. Should start to provide a little bit more once that's up. You also have Ramses trying to rush his own BKB up here. But again, with the threat of a stolen Black Hole, there's a lot of play potential for Liquid, even with the BKB that will eventually come out here for Ramses. 14-10, slight net worth lead coming out for Liquid. As Tree trying to rush into the Ags, was playing poke a little bit, but Ramses, of course, not going to commit just yet. No backup for that play. It's a lot more topsy-turvy here, for sure. Tundra, it felt like they just lost all of that steam. Again, just giving some opportunities out to Liquid. Liquid being very smart with their farming patterns. Managing to hit that good stride. BKB, again, for Nisha, it's so damn close. The flash farm for the SF cannot be underestimated. These camps just do not take too long for Nisha to clear out. And Tundra is taking a little bit of a back seat. Again, maybe once some of these BKB start to line up, even 9 class getting some room to farm his BKB up, things can start to change. It'll instantly remove this threat of Nisha at the least. And allow some angles here out for Tundra.
Now, Torment is going to be taken by Liquid. Tundra's still sitting back. BKB is being built up. They'll just wait those out first. Group up again here from Tundra. Bottom lane. They give for a smoke up. 4-man smoke. Make it a 5-man. 9 class is going to join his team. 33 is the closest target, and Pure is going to run right into him. Stun is out. They've already got the Brewmaster locked down. 33 trying for the Primal Split, could not get it off in time. Another great start here for Tundra. Sadly, there's nobody else to take down, but they already got the start they would have loved.
Just remove that split. Although,
Boxy, he's going to move in. Stun out on Thompson. He'll morph into the Marcy, but Boxy's in a lot of danger here, and Boxy's just dead.
huh.
No, wishful thinking. Insania now also being caught out here on the Rubik, and he's gone.
Dire's middle tower is under
I mean, I guess the idea from Boxy is to, you know, just morph into 9 class and rebound back out, and you know, try to be a little bit cheeky, but, you know, it does cost him.
That it does. It's pretty costly to just feed those kills away. You do manage to bait out the BKB of Pure. So that is the 9-second charge gone. Maybe expecting Nisha to look for an angle back in with a blink. Does not quite fully commit. And that does provide an opportunity for the tier 2 to fall. Map opening up fully now for the side of Tundra. Have a lot more leeway in getting around the map. And you get that BKB on 9 class. So, again, this triple BKB timing is lined up. You already have one on Ramses. Can look for some black hole plays as long as they can take care of Insania first. You have the Octarine ready to go on Thompson. So much more uptime for the Nimbus and the Thunder God's Rat. Roshan is going to be a top side if either side will want to go. Liquid can still contest. Again, they still have this pipe on Boxy. And it feels like he didn't manage to pop out, but they'll go with a smoke out now.
Through the top lane they'll go. 9 class will break the smoke, so Boxy's going to casually jump in, but the BKB was there. 9 class just in the nick of time, catching out Boxy with his pants down, so Boxy will go down first. The rest of Liquid immediately trying to rush out of there. Not happy with the way this fight started. They'll try to get everyone out together. The chase is on from Tundra, though they're smoked up as 5. 33, maybe they want to get caught again. There's your ulti from Thompson, giving the vision over. They'll land a stun onto 33. He does have the primal split, and they will throw the kisses out. But nothing will really come out of it. They'll let the Brewmaster run. They'll accept the Morphling kill as is. And instead, they're going to try for the Roshan attempt for Tundra.
Yeah, still a very secure position for Tundra. Only expended pretty much 9 classes spells. You still have the black hole already on Ramses. The contestant does come in here from the side of Liquid. And it doesn't take too long with the output you do have on hand. With the minus armor that Little Shredder will provide. Roshan, not going to take that long. Liquid, no option to kind of fight in. They are still getting room to keep this farm game going. Again, Nisha with his BKB still set to go. Going into the Ags next in the SF. You've got BKB being formed up by Mika before he starts to go for the damage in the Daedalus. Already has a shard. So it's a very simple matter of farming up now on the Weaver. But dealing with the 2 lives on Pure can be a bit of a challenge. Mind you, DK is a little bit awkward with Aegis, especially if he's in Elder Dragon form on the first life and dies. Not going to do as much on the secondary, but I guess the Worm's Rat does kind of compensate for that. Slow siege onto the tier 2 up top. Liquid not keen on taking that. Instead, Tundra actually going for a smoke across the map.
The bottom lane, Nisha was spotted Thompson, trying to lock him down, already removing half his HP pool. Mickey is going to join in on the Weaver. 9 class going to jump in onto Nisha. Nisha pops the Requiem, though 9 class had the BKB going. Black hole, Ramses, he called Nisha's SF again. They'll take him out. Nisha is down. So is Insania. At least they do find 9 class, but now 33 trying to move in. Does have the primal split to use, but he's been stunned up again by the Malefice of Ramses. 33 still trying to back his way out. Should be okay to do so. I say that the Ramses right behind him now, forcing out the primal split usage. And so 33 will successfully be able to get out, but primal split now on cooldown for 2 minutes. We'll see if Tundra can really get anything out of this. Like, already a nice fight as is. Maybe you can find a tier 2 tower if you're lucky.
Yeah, and there's only 1 tower left for Liquid outside of their high ground, and it is the bot tier 2. Still have a lot of time that Aegis as well. 3.5 minutes left for Pure. Inside of Liquid, just so rough. They're not able to start these fights on their terms. It's always Tundra running in, Tundra looking for the plays. Liquid, their initiation's just really awkward. Like, the best thing you've got is maybe Blink BKB Requiem from Nisha. Maybe you can get a good split off from the back of that, but options are just so limited. And as long as you catch Insania out in that Rubik, and you can see the frustration. But if he's in that black hole, you don't have to worry about it being stolen for Ramses. Just makes the game a lot easier as well. Just because, again, there's a lack of straightforward initiation right now on the side of Liquid. It's just not as easy as jumping in with Dragon Tail and jumping in with a Marcy. Very low commitment initiation from the side of Tundra.
Oh, Pure's in. They're going to find 33 already. Ramses is out with the Malefice to boot. 33, he's got no way to primal split out of this one. He is just in huge trouble. He will drop it now, the Requiem. Nisha going to find Ramses as a trade. 33 will buy back Pure. In the meantime, trying to BKB TP out, does not make it. He is down the first time with the Aegis. Can he get out the second? We probably can, because 9 class is the one being chased up here by Boxy. They'll lock down 9 class and they'll take down the Marcy. Night Class actually handing the tip over the box in the meantime, as we are going to get a 3-for-1 trade. Of course, it did cost 33, the buyback on the Brewmaster, but I think he'll be pretty happy with that.
You get some punishment, you take away the Aegis. I don't think you're too unhappy on Tundra, though, considering, again, buyback forced out. Next Roche still a ways off. 4.5 minutes until the respawn timer really reveals itself. So if you catch 33 out one more time, you do open up the high ground in a much bigger way. Really good positioning from Nisha to get that full Requiem off. And now he's got the Ags. So the SF, with that Requiem, with the fear duration, is going to be massive if you don't manage to pop these BKBs on time on the side of Tundra. You're going to have to be very aware of their positioning. They are ready to go once more, though. Ramses does have his black hole ready. Doesn't quite have the BKB, so it's not as safe of a bet. Is only Mika showing around. Liquid just using the space to keep that farm game going. Again, this Weaver with a BKB protection. Still a fresh BKB as well for Mika. Into the Daedalus, that's when the Weaver starts to really get out of hand. The damage output can be ridiculous with his Shard and the Sakuchi, so you will have to respect that. But at the very least, the Daedalus, the full Daedalus, is still a ways off here.
That it is. Top lane, Pure. Gonna catch out Insania again. That'll be the Rubik going down. Insania certainly not having a very good time at all here at this game too. Tundra, they'll be happy with that. They'll go right back through the twin gates, back towards the bottom lane. Mikke's farming that area right now on the Weaver. This could be very, very dangerous for him if they do at all realize he's around, but he does actually Sakuchi back towards the triangle. So it seems like the Weaver will be okay. But it just feels like he requires so much more farm. It's not like they're lacking damage, but just a matter of keeping your allies alive, I think is what I'm trying to say here, John. Like, trying to keep them alive long enough to get their spells off is proving to be the big issue, as Mickey could get caught. Lincoln's broken by 9 class, but you're right to back off.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
But their map is out of their hands right now on Liquid. Tundra, again, in complete control. A little bit of isolation and annoyance onto Thompson with a primal companion. Not enough to really follow through. Smoke on smoke here. This could be a big one. Again, Black Hole's still ready.
Nisha, he'll break the smoke. Jump is there, though. He'll blink away, avoiding the stun out from Pure. Meanwhile, who are they actually aiming? It looks like Mickey forced the BKB in time-lapse in the middle of all this, so he'll get away. But already a very awkward kind of fight for Liquid. They'll lose the BKB time-lapse for Mickey. Mickey's going to show at the bottom lane as well, pushing out the creep wave, so they know the Weaver's around this area. But it's going to be very hard to catch it. And Tundra obviously would love to try for high ground right now, knowing that BKB is not available. And of course, that is going to make the Weaver very susceptible to just dying instantaneously. So they are going to give it a crack. Through the bottom lane, they'll go. Tier 3 tower now under siege.
Going nice and slow with just the Eidolons, not fully committing. Maybe looking for a response and overextension elsewhere first. And they still have their BKB set to go. They still have that black hole ready on Ramses. The threat is there. Not going to overcommit. Roshan in a minute. That's going to be the next big objective both teams will set their eyes on. Have some space for Nisha to, again, just farm up the map. Working up top. Going into the side of Vice on this SF. Get that control going with a blink in. And just connect with a Requiem a lot easier here. You are starting to, again, just lose the space for Liquid. It's a little bit more awkward for them to get out. Heck, they're going to lose their Tormentor here as well. With Pure just getting to town on by himself. Nice free shard for Thompson to have. Lightning Hands ready to go. Along with a refresh.
Mickey. Double Nimbus.
Holy.
Mickey, the black hole will lock him down. Thompson not allowing the escape. Well, that double Nimbus from Thompson, very, very cheeky. Just the constant stuns to lock him down long enough. That's a huge kill. That's 70 seconds without your Weaver.
That is massive. And again, that 70 seconds could be an early Roche as well. They didn't catch.
33. Dropping low, Nisha pops the Requiem. Pure being forced away now with the fear out, but the kisses are incoming from 1-1 to try and help out. Here comes Thompson to try and help to boot. It looks like Pure, who actually survived through this.
The armlet!
Pure does not die. The armlet toggles just allow him to survive, as now Insania and Boxy are both gone. Oh my goodness, Pure just refusing to die.
God, pops the BKB, gets the toggles at the perfect time. That was the angle they were looking for on Liquid. They managed to nail the Ag's Requiem without the BKB flying on instantly from Pure, but not enough burst damage. But not without Mike. They can't just jump this DK and hope that they've got enough just with the magic. Going straight for the tier 4s. Tundra are not messing around. They want that win.
You can't quite blame them here, John. Tier 4 tower is already gone. Buybacks incoming from Liquid, but they still need 5 seconds for their Weaver. The jump is there already onto the SF. Nisha being caught out, and Nisha is gone along with Boxy. They'll call the GG. They've seen enough. And that is going to mean a 1-1 draw here between Tundra and Team Liquid.
Yeah. Again, a little bit rough in game 1. Game 2, lanes come out just as strong as they were, but they don't have those issues scaling on, right?